Hello, my gorgeous, beautiful, wonderful queen bees. It is your girl, Amanda, back from the dead. Yes, queen bee, your snack is back. And I know it's been a real hot minute, about 7 months to be exact, but I've gone on a long journey. There and back again. An Amanda story, and I am ready to share my tales with you. So first of all, hi, how are you? Good to see you once again. Hope things are well in the YouTube community. Last time I checked, the beauty community was doing just fine, and now they are kind of a bunch of garbage people. Oh, we're not gonna put that in there. I feel like a lot has happened within the past 7 months, and I just really want to fill you all in on what's been happening in my life and some of the experiments that I got going on in the background. Know what I'm saying? So let's just rewind a little bit. The last time we spoke, I had done a video called the 2B Mindset, and I did a review on how that program was not the best program for me. So that program was like a nutrition guide, diet approach, which included weighing yourself every single day.
I gotta weigh myself every single day?
If you haven't seen that video and you want to know what that's all about, I'll include that up in the card up here or in the description below. But basically, long story short, I tried the 2B Mindset program and I totally hated it. Instead of losing weight, I actually gained weight. This is a belly that has been eating fresh vegetables, high quality protein, and this is what I'm getting. What the f? The scale numbers just kept going up. It put me in a very bad mental space. And it came to a point where I started hating food again, and that was not where I wanted to be. So while you guys were all busy watching James Charles's empire fall and then rise again from the ashes, that actually didn't happen within the span of 7 months, but whatever. I was actually filming and carefully documenting this experimental weight loss process. And now I'm ready to report. But first, before we get into that, let me clear up just a few things from that 2B Mindset video. Oh yeah, I've been watching. So first things first, I love vegetables. I've always eaten vegetables ever since I was a wee tot. Doing 2B Mindset was not a new introduction to vegetables for me. I've been eating them for a very, very long time, and I love them dearly. Point number 2, I was just bloated as hell. What the f? No matter how much water I was drinking, I was ballooning up like Violet Beauregard from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory movie. You know that girl who like plumped up into a blueberry and kind of floated away into the sky? That was me. I was floating away into the sky because I was getting so bloated. And 3, daily weighings on the scale was just a no-go for me. I did it every single day for 2 months. Did not work for me. And a lot of you know from my channel, I talk about mental health because I think it's a very important thing that goes kind of hand in hand with being healthy. If you're not in the right mindset, it's very hard for you to get healthy. Everybody is different. Everybody has their own triggers and emotional responses to things. I know for me, the scale just does not work no matter how many times I've tried to reincorporate back into my life. It just, daily weighings is not the answer for me. Despite the comments I kept getting that I had some mental issues to work through, honey, I get it. I have mental issues, but let's move the on. Quite honestly, if I know I don't like something and I'm gonna keep putting myself in trigger moments, it's not gonna bode well for me, so we move on. And point number 4, I did do some exercises, which the 2B Mindset does recommend for us to do if you feel ready. I wasn't doing as much exercise as I had in previous programs. Like I wasn't exercising every single day. I was maybe doing it like 2 to 3 times a week. I took this opportunity to kind of just take a step back from YouTube, take a step back from doing all these programs, and just kind of do a personal powwow with myself to figure out what's going on, why am I feeling this way, why am I gaining weight, and do a little scientific experiment. It's experiment time, beesh! Now, after all this happened, I kind of had a hunch as to what was going on with me, and that hunch had to do with my food intake. More likely, the volume of how much I was actually putting in my mouth. I need to confirm my hunch, and after some deep mental, spiritual talking to with myself, I decided to return, nay, to crawl back to calorie counting and knock on the door of my old nemesis, MyFitnessPal. Yeah, I know. Roll the clip. Counting calories is not going to work for you. It was almost like obsessive compulsive. It did help me lose weight because I was able to track better. Here's where things got a little sour. I was starving, like I was hungry all the time. I started looking at food like a number, and that to me was the really messed up part of it all. I know, I sound like a huge hypocrite. Now, before anyone comes at me about how evil calorie counting is, girl, I was once in that band camp you saw from that video. And honestly, I still kind of am, because the whole thing with calories in versus calories out theory is still not a viable excuse for calorie counting on its own. Basically, it's kind of like saying a calorie is a calorie. No matter where you get it, your body is going to treat it like a calorie and therefore process it the same way. That's just simply not true. It's as if you're saying the 100 calories that you would get from like an apple, for example, is the same as the 100 calories that you would get from a chocolate bar. Our bodies will break down the apple differently than it will break down a chocolate bar. A chocolate bar has fat and sugar in it, and pretty much that's about it. And then you have an apple which has added fibers and natural sugars. Our bodies react differently to that. And like I said, even though they both have the same amount of calories, eating an apple will help you stay fuller for much longer versus eating a chocolate bar, which will send you into a hungry frenzy probably an hour after eating it, which means you'll probably ingest more calories as a result of that chocolate bar you ate. So not only does your body process it differently, but it's also going to make you want to eat more because there's not much nutritional value that it has brought to the table. So at face value, they are the same, but if you look deep inside their souls, they're very different. In fact, chocolate has no soul. It eats souls. And it laughs at your fat butt for wanting more. You, chocolate. Just kidding, chocolate. We cool. Or are we? Okay, that got weird. Back to my experiment. The reason why I'm starting to get back into calorie counting again and give it another shot is because I have matured and I do see food in a different light. I'm ready to use another tool like MyFitnessPal to kind of help me keep track of it so I'm good all around. And here are some rules that I set for myself. Rule number 1, I will be eating a diet of primarily highly nutritious whole foods. Rule number 2, I track every single thing that I eat. 3, I will make sure to get my daily hydration with all the water that I need. And 4, and most importantly, I allowed myself one cheat day a week. Because quite honestly, your girl ain't a saint. I like to splurge. I like to have my cake. I like to have my chocolate. I like to have those nice, sweet gummy worms, right? It's a way to help me keep my sanity, or what little is left of it anyways. And I forgot, rule number 5, I will try to do some sort of exercise every single day. It doesn't have to be super intense. It could be something as simple as walking, could be something a little bit more intense like doing something for my Beachbody On Demand, weightlifting or yoga or Pilates. But I wanted to at least get some calorie burns in myself practically every single day. And again, I give myself a 1-day rest just to recover from all of it. That was quite the workout. So I went ahead and downloaded the app right back onto my phone. And when I saw the familiar logo of the high-kicking banshee goddess herself, I went all in. I proceeded to track all my calories in the app. Because I didn't really have a fitness tracker that tracked all the calories that I burned in a workout, I was able to kind of average out what I typically would be burning in a workout session and factor that in with my calorie counting. I wasn't really looking for airtight accuracy on that front, but I wanted to just get a ballpark of where I was at. So I did this for every single day. I tracked my calories and I did my workouts. If I had a bite of anything, I tracked it on my app. Now, as silly as tracking every single solitary thing sounds, this is to help me build awareness. I wanted to really look at food as a fuel and as a tool and an asset for myself. If I am not taking into account things that I'm putting into myself, I'm kind of cheating myself out of it. I need to understand what the food I eat does for me. And that's why I tracked everything, for mental awareness as to what is being put into my body. Quite honestly, if you're still on the fence about trying calorie counting, you're not quite sure if it's something you want to do, consider it as a means for you to understand what types of food that you are eating and how much of it you are eating. It really is an eye-opening process, and it's something that I only recommend to people who already have a decent to good relationship with their food. So as I was doing this, about a week went by, and checking in on my stats, I noticed that I was eating a lot of food and taking in a lot of calories. I need to take in about 1,500 to 1,520 calories every single day. And I kept finding that all the calories that I was just eating went up to like 1,600 to almost 1,700 calories. So I was having like almost 200 extra calories every single day. Not every calorie is created equal, but for the most part, if you're eating way more calories than what your body needs to survive, yes, you will gain weight. The food that I was eating was really healthy, like they were very highly nutritious and very wholesome for me, but I was just eating a lot of it. Volume is a big deal here. You want to choose foods that are really good for you, but you also want to practice moderation. This is as boring and as unsexy as it gets, my queen bees, but Yeah, I mean, your girl was eating a lot of really good food. I'm a tugboat when it comes to eating food. So when I made this observation, I started to take tighter control of the amount of food that I was eating. And I looked at my volume as well as the weight of my food to kind of figure out, am I eating too much? What's the calorie count on this? Am I feeling hungry after having a meal? Because I was so focused on eating wholesome, nutritious food, it was also packed with a lot of vitamins and minerals, so it was keeping my body fuller for much, much longer. So really, this is where choosing the right types of food really come into play to not make you as hungry so you take in less calories and not become a miserable person in the process. So to keep myself tracked, I weighed myself once a week on the scale, and in addition to that, took measurements of my chest, hips, legs, arms, and waist every single week on the same day, which was a Friday. And I recorded them in my journal. And I always weighed myself and measured myself at the same exact time every single week. Right out of bed after my glorious morning pee, whip off my pajamas, hop onto that poor scale with the fervor of a naked Venus on a clamshell, and record my results. That was pretty much that. I did the same exact thing every single day, and I tracked myself once a week. And after 6 months of doing this experiment of recording all my results, I am now ready to report my findings. With my calorie counting and keeping myself on track with my workouts and with my exercises, I ended up losing 7.4 pounds. I had initially started doing the calorie limiting at around 167, 168 pounds, and I eventually made my way down to 159.6 pounds. I was completely and utterly ecstatic. It was pretty much the best feeling in the entire world because I finally felt like I cracked the code and I had a means to help myself. And in terms of measurements and inches lost, I lost about an inch all around. So all in all, I'm doing well. I'm back on the right track again, and I think I found my groove finally in what really works best for me. I just felt like I found the old Amanda again. Huzzah. Once my experiment was over, I still continued to calorie count, and I still continued to keep careful track of my exercise routine in congruence with my food intake. I try to eat wholesome vegetables. I try to do like 80-20, which I've always really done, but to be more aware of the volume of the amount of food I'm putting into myself. This is my journey. This is my story. What might work for me may not exactly work for you, and that is okay. You need to figure out what works best for you, and once you find it, you'll work it, girl. And if there's one thing you can take out of my entire tale of woe, it's this. Don't be afraid to try something that you once despised or put a kibosh on. I hated calorie counting. I've said it in previous videos that calorie counting is the devil, and well, I'd like to say that I have matured over the years and am now ready to take on calorie counting in a more sophisticated manner. Kinda. So what do you think of calorie counting, my queen bees? Do you hate it? Do you love it? Comment below and let me know. I always love to hear from you, my darling, gorgeous, beautiful, wonderful queen bees. Now, as for my upload schedule, I have been really super busy on my other channel, The Buzzed Artist, where I post acrylic painting videos and whatnot. That has been taking off recently, and all my time and my energy has been towards growing that channel and getting that up and running. But this channel here is not dead. I will be posting videos, I will be here for you, and I'll try not to wait 7 months in between a video this time. And I'd like to turn this over to you. What other video topics would you like for me to cover on this channel? Comment below and ask your question. I'm always happy to get your suggestions, my darlings. And that's pretty much what I've been doing for the past 7 months. And I don't know, it's good to be back. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a like and to subscribe to my channel. Hit that like button, you know what to do, so that you can see more videos like this from me to you in the future. Love yourself, love your life. I'll see you all next time. Bye!